What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Awakening World, the start of our summer season, our first show of the year of this season. I want to welcome all of you that are actually successful in the Zoom room. I will have to reply to the people that are frantically texting and emailing me that somehow didn't get the new links. We have a really lovely show tonight. We're going to be hearing from different members of our community that are doing wonderful and important things in the world. Well, I'll tell you who we have briefly. By video, we're going to hear from Dominik DelGado, who is the new person running the Interstellar University. Some of you remember Dominik. He's from Germany. Beautiful man, young man. And she's back. Suzanne Ross is with us again tonight. And she's got something special to share with everybody. And she's brought one of her colleagues. So making her Awakening World debut is the lovely Pamela, who's going to lead us in an opening prayer in a moment. And Erica K. Webster, who of course is a regular viewer, but she and Piper have created a Most Perfect Love. It's a new organization that's really important, doing very important work. We're going to learn all about that. And our lovely Desirea is with us. And she's got a little special something she's going to be sharing. And as always, we have our beloved Omashar, who will be providing not one, not two, but three musical numbers for us tonight. So it's good to see all of you, smiling faces. And actually, Pamela is going to get us off to a start with a prayer.
Thank you, Scott. I am so, I feel so blessed to be able to open the season with a prayer.
Yeah.
So hello, everyone. Just take a deep breath and settle into your space. I'm going to have a quick prayer here. And I channel the Great Council of Light. So they're going to be with me and I'm going to call them in. Spirit, we welcome you into this space. We also call in the presence of the Great Council of Light, our guides, our supports, who guide us as we navigate these challenging times. We feel the world shifting. There's so much uncertainty, so much unraveling around us. But we also know that something deeper is rising, a remembering, a return to who we really are. So right now, we ask to be held in that truth. Let this space be a reminder that we are not alone. Let this conversation offer clarity, calm, and connection. Let each person listening feel supported and not overwhelmed by what's unfolding in our world. We are not here by accident. We came for this time. We are a part of the change. May everything that's shared here today be helpful, healing, and aligned, and may it serve our highest good for everyone who's listening and everyone in the world. And so it is.
Mhm.
Let me shine a light inside, and I'll show you where your truth resides. Lift your eyes up to the skies, and I'll prove to you that nothing dies. Together we will rise again, and we'll make amends for what we've done. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. So let me take your hands in mine. As I look at you, your spirit shines. You see, it's true that we are one, and we came out from the central sun. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. So when you take a different view and you dream awake, breathe out the new. The world will come alive again as we dance and sing and make new friends. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you
let's all go to gallery view and give a twinkle to our beloved Omashar. What a perfect song to welcoming us all home, and that really is what we have here. It's a beautiful home, and thank you, Desirea, for adding your beauty and wonderful energetic signature to what we're doing. And I'm gonna actually, before we go to Suzanne, I do want to briefly read some of the wonderful comments that have come in, because it's kind of cool. DR, by the way, just wrote best version of that song ever. And Pam writes, love the dancing, Eleanor Joy. Watching you brings me joy. So that's beautiful. Susan from Santa Barbara. And again, for some of you who came in a little bit later, I'd asked, let us know when you first joined the Global Peace Tribe. That's kind of fun to know. All right, let's see, here we go. Kathy, it was Saturday Night Alive. Yep, for those of you who don't know, we started the show 5.5 years ago, and it was called Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. That's us, the Global Peace Tribe. So Kathy's been with us from all the way back. Susan found us in 2020, and that's when we started. We started April 4th, 2020 was our very first show. Carol watched a Piper Dellum film from Dr. Ivy. Okay, that's how you discovered us. Dia, Saturday Night Alive. So it's kind of fun. Carol seeing all the different people, San Jose, Trinidad, and of course, Dorina from Ecuador. And Karen, by the way, said that that is her favorite Omashar song. So there you have it. By the way, you're still on the camera. All right. I'm a little bit, I've been working with some people going through hard stuff and haven't slept as much as I need to. So I'm a little bit half-cooked.
That's a good confession, Scott, but we wouldn't notice because you look great, you sound great, and I can feel you, brother. And
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's hard times. Last week we had four deaths in our orbit. 4 people pass away that have either been on the show or connected to people on the show. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And, one of the things that we were talking about this during the World Unity Week call today, obviously the world is going through very hard stuff. And I think all of us recognize that this is something very big is going on our planet. And it is important for us to have empathy for those that are suffering, and there's very, very real suffering going on. But it's also important, I think, for us to dance more, laugh more, sing more, and of course, do everything with love. And not don't get caught up in the polarization that's out there, and there's so many things. I mean, it started with pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, pro-Trump, anti-Trump. And there's so many ways that we can polarize, and let's just not get caught up in that. Every time you find yourself thinking a judgmental thought, notice that you're about to think it or you're having it, and blow it out like you're blowing out a candle, and replace it with, I am grateful for the beauty of my life, or I am grateful for Omashar, or I am grateful for someone in your world or something in your life. Because now is the time for us to really be living in gratitude, as well as compassion for the real suffering, and not go waste our precious time and energy on the polarization that's all too available. So I wanted to add that.
Thank you.
Right. One of the people who brings a lot of joy into this world is our friend Suzanne Ross. You saw her on Saturday night, and she's back again because we love Suzanne. And we also love what Suzanne's doing in the world, because you bring your retreats and your events. They are filled with joy and filled with just wonderful people. So of course, we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up for you in San Diego, but then you also have something to share with our audience. So let's start with that, and then we'll bring up your friend Pamela and talk about San Diego.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Scott. That really means a lot to me, and I love you all dearly. And that is what drives me to do what I do, truly. It's all about spreading the love and light far and wide. in any way that we can, and just to be of service in the way that we're called to. And for the retreats that I offer, the two themes that really resonate most profoundly with my audience are transcendence and ascension. So I have an ascension retreat in the spring and a transcendence retreat in the fall. They're similar but different. And so, since I have the upcoming transcendence retreat, I just wanted to focus on the theme of transcendence today. And what I'll be presenting about is a concept of sustained transcendence. And I started practicing this actually years ago. I would spend the morning meditating, and then I would go on my nature walk, and I would be in this elevated state, transcendent state, right? And I would feel such inner peace, even ecstatic bliss. And then I would have to go to the post office and the bank and the grocery store. And I would start to lose that state of being and feeling uplifted and elevated. And so I started to think, well, how could I sustain that as I move throughout my day? No matter what I have to deal with, no matter who I encounter, no matter what errands I have to run. And so in my book, Wake Up, Awakening Through Reflection, I created what I call practical spirituality. And really, they're just daily practices that you can do to sustain a state of transcendence. You already stole one from me, Scott. It was the attitude of gratitude. But certainly transcending ego, transcending separation, like you were referring to, are all forms of transcendence. But this state of being. And so achieving that state in whichever way you do, through meditation, through dance, through walking in nature, communing with animals or others, and then to sustain it, you have the sustained state. And when you feel yourself starting to move out of that, one of the most powerful and easy practices that I do is I simply place my hands on my heart and I just start breathing into love, love for myself, love for others, love for the people around me. If I'm surrounded by people, post office, grocery store, I feel so blessed to be surrounded by God's children, my soul brothers and sisters. And I just start transmitting love to each and every one of them in a powerful way. Really saying to myself, I love you, and conveying that. Also, just love for all that is, love for creation and the creators, just a love that is unconditional. And when I do that, I then move back into that state of transcendence. Funny, Scott, you also started to refer to another practice that I wrote down and wanted to share, and that's redirect. And it's a practice I have in my book, Wake Up, where when a lower vibrational thought starts to drop your frequency, you have the power to redirect it into a more positive one, into one that aligns more with unconditional love, kindness, compassion, patience. And so all you have to do is say to yourself or even out loud, redirect, and just make an intentional effort to raise that thought to a higher vibration. And think about how blessed you are for whatever is arising. I have a practice called Blessings Abound. And it's really faith in the divine plan that everything is a blessing. It may not seem like that at the time. And bless you, Scott, for, just pointing out we all need to remain in a place of empathy and compassion and sincerity for the suffering, while at the same time, with faith in the divine plan, maybe starting to believe that there's really a deeper meaning and greater purpose for it, and maybe start to reflect on how it's serving or teaching the lessons that we came here to learn as individuals or collectively, while still, like you said, staying in that place of sincere compassion. So those are some practices for sustaining a transcendent state throughout your day.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing those. Um, and Pam writes, I love the laughter in your voice, Suzanne. Even as you're talking about challenges, you radiate joy. I
Oh,
love the idea of sending out love to everyone in everyday environments. So many wonderful practices you just shared. Thank you. So that's from,
thank you.
well, I'm going to bring up Pamela, another Pam.
Mhm.
So tell us, how did you two meet and how do you two collaborate? And let's get to know Pamela a little bit. Maybe you can even introduce her, Suzanne. Tell us something wonderful that only you know about her.
Well, not that I discovered Pamela, but as I seek presenters for my retreats, I start to look out on the internet, YouTube, and I tune in and watch them being interviewed, watch them teaching and sharing. And I want to feel into their heart. I really want to attract people who are truly authentic and sincere and dedicated to their service. And that's typically the service of spreading love and light for the awakening and ascension of humanity. I watched Pamela in an interview she did, Wisdom from the North, and I was just glued to it. And I already felt a powerful connection with her. And I knew that she was so authentic, truly dedicated. She was channeling. She is the real deal. She comes from her heart. And I'm already falling in love with her. And when we connected, we fell in love with one another.
Yes.
And I'm just so pleased to introduce Pamela Downes.
Thank you. And who couldn't fall in love with you? You're just amazing. You have such an amazing vibration. Yeah, that's how we met. I feel so blessed to have found you and to have the ability to just be seen by more people and to share the channel messages that I receive from the Great Council of Light. So I'm so excited to be a part of the Transcendence Retreat in San Diego this fall, and to talk about all the things that I've been sharing. And we're going to talk about ETs, dimensions, vibration, and manifestation. And it's going to be so fun because I'm going to talk about the experiences that I've had since 2020. I think that's when I found you too, Scott, right around that time. Every time you play that song, you got me out of my seat and I was dancing. And I mean, I still do it. It never gets old. It's amazing. But, I was looking for a community when I was really deeply in my spiritual awakening journey. And when everything shifted in 2020, after a week-long ayahuasca journey, my vibration rose, my channeling started, and I started having experiences with ETs and different dimension beings, and understanding the law of manifestation and understanding vibrations. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about how to help people raise their frequency and how to access that interdimensional guidance and become a vibrational match to your soul's destiny, which is like my favorite thing in the world to do, to help people do that. It brings me so much joy. So, and then I also have a pineal gland meditation. It's an activation that the Great Council of Light channeled through me and I created, and it's profound. So I'm going to share that with the group that time too. Yeah, I can't wait.
Tell us more about your experience of, you're calling it the Council of Light?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, they're a super high vibrational collective of angelic beings, and I had to work really hard for several years to get my body to be in calibration with them to be able to receive that information. And so we worked diligently together, and that happened after a week-long ayahuasca journey that I was called to go to. And I didn't know that I was going to be a trance channeler when I grew up. It wasn't something I aspired to be. It's something that I made a soul contract in another space and time to do at this time in humanity and in the world. And I have come to help share the messages of the Great Council of Lights here and now to help guide humanity through this ever-changing world and all the shifts that are happening right now. So it's a very unique role. Not every channel does that. And it's one that's really taken all of my courage and everything that I have inside of me to step into that space to do this work. And I'm honored to do it. And, you know, it's amazing to know that I've tried to do this many, many, many times before, and now I get to do it. I want to do it, you know.
And when you say you've done it many, many times before, you're referencing past
Many
life?
lifetimes. Yeah. I've had visions and received messages. And yeah. So there's me here now that has seen me in other lifetimes and said, yeah, girl, you've tried so many times, given it everything that you had. And here you are now, and you're going to do it. You get to do it. You are doing it. And so it's exciting.
Wow. Can you share with us some of maybe the headlines that, you know, the Council of Light have shared with you about humanity and this time
Yeah.
that we're in?
Right now we're in a shaking, and I think everybody feels it. And you alluded to it when we were, you know, setting up for the call. I receive so many messages continually, daily, about, you know, what's happening in our world. I feel it. I feel a change. I feel a shaking. I feel an upheaval. I feel something great coming. I feel that. I feel. And people are feeling the earth kind of move under their feet. They're ungrounded. And a lot of people are feeling something pulling them that's just more meaningful, that more profound. They have a calling to do something more. And the council, their deepest desire is to help every one of us learn how to heighten our frequency so that we can learn, number one, that we are omnipotent, beautiful beings. We are creator beings. You know, we can have everything and anything that we desire. We truly need to understand that we are worthy of it and sit in the seat of that creator, and know that we are connected to all that is. We are a thread of the divine. And, you know, they want us to have an easier time through these changes. They want everyone to know that they have their guidance. They've told me many times that they will give me a renewal of a perspective of the earth's plane, a continued renewal perspective of the earth's plane. So they will be telling me, and I will be sharing to our world what's happening when we're not sure what's happening, you know. And it's not to scare, it's to prepare, it's to help humanity because they love us so much. So now that lower density frequency that permeates our planet is breaking down and light is coming through. So there's a shedding that's happening, and there's a return to a beauty that will be once more. And that's what they talk about. And I think that, you know, is so exciting to hear.
It is. See, one more, it's really, I guess I should put myself on camera here. Almost every presenter that we have from all sorts of different countries and are basically saying the same thing. Like, yes, there is this birth going on, and labor is messy. Labor is painful.
Yeah.
You know, and we have been living in an unsustainable world. And so, you know, things really need to be shaken up, you know.
They do.
In order
And
for
everyone
us to
feels
really
it.
move into the Aquarian age, move into
Yes.
a sustainable, healthy planet. you
Yeah.
know. And we're so blessed to have that vision, because I think the majority of people just sees the world falling apart and crazy things going on, and you know, it's terrifying.
It is terrifying. And the council really, they want us to stop fighting. They want us to be deliberate creators. They want us to pay attention and observe what it is we are doing, who we are spending time with, what we are consuming, you know, the activities, especially social media, the dynamics that have been created for our planet, like you said before, contrast, fighting. And it doesn't have to be that way. They often say, take yourself out of it, politely dismiss yourself and change, just like you were talking about, Suzanne. You can pivot one degree and shift everything immediately, which gives you the space and the ability to see more, to hear more, receive more. And that's a slow process, but it's achievable even through all of this chaos.
Beautiful. Do you have children?
I do. Yes. I have
How do they relate to your channeling?
I have two young ladies. They're growing to understand it a little bit more. They're not sure.
Mom does this weird thing.
I know. My daughter makes, you know, she teases me, my youngest. I said I was leading a session last week, and she said, "What are you teaching your Scientology?" Like, and I'm like, it's okay. But you know, they're seeing things. They're 20, 22, and 20, and so they're seeing things. There's nothing greater than my 22-year-old sending me things on Instagram where she's seeing things in a new way, a new perspective, and forming her own opinion, using her discernment, and that makes me so happy.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful to have you with us, and I just want
Thank
to
you.
briefly take people to your website where
Thank
they
you.
can learn more about you. And I've also put in the chat box for our Zoom members, but for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, or our broadcast partners, welcome, by the way. The website is spirit-calling.com. Spirit-calling.com. And there's a lot here. I want to make sure people recognize that she gives beautiful meditations. So you can, and pineal gland activation, many of our presenters have talked about how important that
Oh,
is
yeah.
for our waking up, for our awakening, for our transcendence, for our ascension.
Yes.
So that would be a very valuable meditation, I can imagine. I
Yeah.
think we all want more abundance, and we all want to connect to our spirit guides. So these are some of the meditations that she offers, and you can get them all on a bundle for only $49. And you also work with people.
Yes.
And so clicking on Work with Pamela, what demographic group do you most enjoy working with?
You know, mostly the people that I work with are, I mean, it's all different ages, but there's a lot of gentlemen lately that are coming to the community, which makes my heart so happy. There's a shift happening in that community where they want more intention. They want deeper relationships. They want to understand who they are and how they can lead their family. And it's beautiful. But I am with people just like me. And I think the thing that, you know, Suzanne saw in me that others see in me through my story is themselves. They see themselves, and it gives them hope to understand that there's a path for them. So right now I have these mastermind groups set up with groups of 10 people, me and the council, and we work together to kind of release blocks, to create clarity, to help with understanding, to help with that pathway moving forward. But the most profound work that I'm doing now is soul path coaching, where people are really creating space in their life to change everything, to change their work, to change their relationships. Their calls are so strong and profound that they're willing to make, you know, this investment of time and that financial investment, and to do the work to discover and uncover what's next for them, because they want meaning. They want to be fed. They want to be passionate about what they're doing, and they want to serve and help others.
Beautiful. I also work as make my living as a coach. And,
Yeah.
you know, when you mentioned men, one of the things I've observed is that most of the men that come to our world, that come to us, had the wisdom to recognize that the religion they were raised with wasn't it. But often women, if they dismissed their religion, find a spiritual path quickly or more quickly. Whereas often men are just in this kind of disillusionment, and anything spiritual gets lumped in as religious, which they turn their back on. And so I think often people like Suzanne and you, many of us, part of our job is to help men find their own spiritual path again. That spirituality doesn't have to have anything to do with religion. It can be playing a musical instrument. It can be a martial art form. It can be yoga. It can be time in nature. And so I'm glad to hear that more men are coming to receive your medicine and for you to help them get onto a path.
Yes. And that are being called to lead men. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
We need that.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for sharing my work. I appreciate that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Definitely. I'm sure some of you might find yourself attracted to working with her. So again, the website is spirit-calling. Whoops, this is the wrong place. Let's try that again. And here's the San Diego. Well, we'll go to the San Diego Transcendence Retreat in a moment, but I want to show again, working with Pamela. It's spirit-calling.com/work with Pamela, or you'll just find it if you go to the website. And she describes all the different ways you can work with her, including community membership, only $25 a month. So that sounds like a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, in the beginning, there was Suzanne Ross, and it was good.
Let there be light.
Let there be light. And Suzanne, of course, is putting together this wonderful, wonderful event, which it's amazing the people that she has that are coming to this. We've had most of them on our show, and everybody from, of course, our good friend, Alan Steinfeld, who's a frequent co-host. But you've also got Mark Anthony, who's amazing, Sarah Bruxman, Ann Tucker, my good friend Shelley Reef, and Daryl Anka. There's going to be a Bashar sighting. And so I'll go ahead and go to the website, and here it is, San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com, and really an amazing group of people. And now I can say that knowing that Pamela is part of it as well. And the Sunset Dinner Cruise, amazing presenters, all taking place on Mission Bay, that's near San Diego. And Suzanne, what would you like for people to know about the retreat that's important for them to know?
I like the openness of our retreat, where you don't have to be labeled spiritual. You don't even have to meditate. Or maybe you do, and you're deeply spiritual and a daily meditator. But just come out of curiosity. If you feel love in your heart for yourself, others, and humanity at large, because what you're going to find is a very heart-centered community there. And like I've said before, Scott, what really drives me to do this is the soul gathering. It's the gathering of the spiritual community, and it's wonderful to be enlightened and inspired by the presenters, to drop into sound baths by Shelley Reef and others, to have meditations and activations like with Ken Lloyd, but also it's just being with one another in such an open-minded, open-hearted way. And you might find a community of people that support you and love you. You might also find long-lasting friendships that you end up nurturing. And so it's just a gentle invitation to join us in San Diego if you're seeking love and light. If you're wanting to connect with the spiritual community, you may already know many of us, and we would love to see you and have a beautiful reunion with you. I'm also just excited, Scott, about giving our retreat guests a brand new location. I've been doing it in Sedona for 10 years. And now here I have this opportunity to offer a new and different location that is the nice cool breeze and the shimmering bay of San Diego. And so, yes, I just invite you to join us. You can use the coupon code Bliss on the Bay for a discount. Oh, and our early bird special is effective through July 15th. And the early bird special are really deep discounts on all the passes. So I love you all. I hope to see you in San Diego.
And what's the code that you're providing for us?
Bliss on the Bay.
Okay, so when you check out, put Bliss on the Bay or in the Bay?
On the Bay.
On the Bay. Into is the code. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Fantastic. Suzanne, thank you so much. And thank you for bringing Pamela on. What a dynamic duo you both are. Definitely two earth angels. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to our next connection.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Beautiful. Well, we have something kind of special tonight. Desirea, of course, does all this beautiful energetic healing and energetic sign language, I'm calling it, during some of our during Omashar music or during presenters. But she texted me and said that she had something special she wanted to provide for the audience. And so I'm going to turn it over to our lovely Desirea.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for having me here tonight. Well, I love the fact that we were talking about gratitude and really stepping into that gratitude and bringing more of that into our lives and refocusing our shift on those things where maybe they're not the highest vibration, but when we refocus our thinking onto that gratitude, it really changes things. That being said, today I really got the call to do just kind of a massive clearing and just kind of channeled energy healing on everyone. So if you'd like to join me, just go ahead and relax. And then we'll begin by taking a nice big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just going to start by clearing that energy. We're starting right on the outside of us, so that aura right around us. Grounding some of that energy down at our feet. Releasing anything that no longer serves us, anything that we've been holding on to that isn't of the highest vibration. We're going to also raise the vibration now. You may feel the top of your head just kind of raising up. So raising that vibration for all those that are on the call now, watching the call later, or just connecting with it energetically. I'm asking our guides to raise our vibration, release anything that no longer serves us. There we go. Nice. So as we do this, I'm going to bring in a little bit bigger energy. We're going to bring in that higher love frequency as well. We're going to allow that energy just to flow down our body, clearing out anything that isn't of the highest love frequency. Taking another big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Connecting with that heart center to see what that true passion, true joy, true happiness that's within us. And looking deep within us to find that and bring that to the surface. All those things that make you happy, all those things that bring joy to your life, I'm asking at this time that we bring that energy to the surface so that we can better see it. We can better feel it, and then we can expand it out from us. There we go. Now I do get a little bit of heaviness in that mind, so I'm asking that we clear any thoughts that no longer serve us, clear any overthinking, any worry, any frustration, anything that's been kind of weighing us down. I'm asking that we release that at this time. There you go. Bringing in that higher light, that higher vibration. There we go. I can feel that on my pineal gland just vibrating like crazy. Very good. Yes. Opening up opportunities, opening up clarity. There we go. Raising that vibration one more time, as high as we can possibly get it, expanding it outward, filling our entire system with as much light energy as we possibly can. Now, at this time, when we connect to that heart center, I'd ask you just to think about those things that you are grateful for. Whatever it is, the laugh my son has when we go paddleboarding, this twinkle in my daughter's eye when she tells me about things that are happening with her friends, that tree that I saw on the side of the road that just had this magical energy to it. All those things I'm incredibly grateful for. And I ask you what you're grateful for so we can tap into that energy and just expand it. Very beautiful. Opening up that crown chakra more. Nice. And the angels come in and they say thank you. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your gratitude. And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Desirea. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's all go to gallery view and give a nice hearty twinkle to Desirea for both what she just shared and just the beautiful way you hold space and tune in and just, I feel like you just add your this wonderful icing on the cake of our music and our presenters. So thank you so much, Desirea. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. Well, we're going to learn about what our community is doing. And by the way, speaking of community, before I forget, I understand that Lynn and Leaf, there was a birthday in your household. And so I'm going to put the spotlight on you for a moment there. So please unmute and tell us a little bit about the birthday. And of course, we're going to send you maximum grace. I just need you to unmute. There you go.
So, well, it's been 72 years and chasing the sun around the galaxy. It's been a real pleasure to be part of the Global Peace Tribe for the last we were there within the first month.
You were
startup,
Yeah.
and
Never
so
missed
it's been a very wonderful awakening for us to participate and celebrate the blessings of being with like-minded souls, and very grateful for Zoom and the capacity to do it from our home, particularly with the COVID issue. And now just 72 years, I'm not as spry as I used to be getting out to gatherings and stuff like that, which was our earlier life before we settled in and put away enough career that we got a retirement out of it. And so it's truly a blessing, and we love you guys. We've got the Magnificent Seven. It's a daily meditation that got set up. We miss seeing you there on a once in a while basis.
Oh, I need to start dropping back in. I will try and drop in, but I do send you a morning message every morning.
Yes, we do
Yes.
get that. We are very grateful for that work that you put in on that. And grateful for the fact that you put the new links in that message pattern, because what was sent to me when I did my sign up didn't have the new links.
Yeah.
Last season, but we got it set up so that we can connect and click and be there. And
Oh, beautiful. Well, we love you. Let's all send lots of maximum grace for the next 72 cycles around the sun.
sounds like a plan.
And Lynn, you're hiding there somewhere. We can't quite see you. You could put your face over it. There you go. Hey, wanted to see you.
Dancing to you, Omashar. You're the best.
Thank you so much. I know. I heard that you're my #1 fan, so thank you so much.
Yeah,
You too, Scott. We love you too.
we have to sit over here on the couch during this part of the evening because it's just right where the air conditioner does blow on us, because sitting right here now in front of the computer, it's a sweat box right here. So we that's why you see us sitting over there. Maybe you don't see us. I gotta
We don't know.
realign the camera.
It's all good.
It's all good. We love you.
Maximum grace for Brother Leaf. Maximum grace. And thank you, Lynn, we love watching you dance when you get up and dance. It's wonderful. I know it might be too hot. I do know you have been with us from the very beginning. I can remember you would always let us know you were from Justine, and I didn't know what Justine was. So always at Justine. So we love you guys. Happy birthday.
Justine is the nearest center point, east, west, north, south of California.
Right in the middle.
It's right in-
As you travel up and down I-5, and you go through Santanella, that's just south of where we are. We're only 13 miles from Santanella. So when you're rolling up and down the freeway and want to take a break,
Come and see us.
No, I'll think about that. I often stop in Santanella for pea soup. So exactly.
Yes.
Well, if we can plan it together, we'd slip down to check it out and
That'd be fun to meet you there. That would be fun to meet you there sometime. We'll make that happen. You're getting lots of comments in the chat box from people wishing you a happy birthday. And
I'll slip over to the computer face and read those. Thanks for everybody. Our family is awesome. We love you all.
that word family, by the way, is from our beloved Diara.
Yeah, we were there during the creation of that, so we definitely have become family from friends on a global peace tribe.
That would make you a charter member of Diara's family, since you were there at the beginning.
Amen. What a pleasure and an honor. We love you all.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Much love to you too. Well, we're going to roll into some really wonderful work that two of our most beloved members of the Global Peace Tribe, Erica and Piper, are creating. And I'm going to start by showing a video, and then we're going to bring Erica up and learn all about a most perfect love foundation. Let's take a look. What a beautiful video. Oh my God, those children's faces. Wow. And it also breaks my heart to know how much starvation is taking place right now in Gaza, in Africa. And so I want to just honor and acknowledge Erica, who has had an amazing lifetime. We highlighted her on this show a while back, and what an amazing life you've led of really supporting those who are not traditionally supported by our world. So welcome back to being a presenter on The Awakening World. And Erica, please tell us about A Most Perfect Love Foundation. We'll take a look at the website in a moment, but why don't you start by just telling us from your heart about what you are creating?
Thank you, Scott, and thank you for the great honor and your surprise request to be here tonight and to be in the presence of such wonderful presenters. It's hard to even put words to the gratitude that I feel. That's why I love when Suzanne brought up attitude of gratitude. I've lived by that for many years. And by the way, on Sunday, I will turn 75 years old.
Wow.
And so, yes, Scott, I've had an amazing life. But when I was a child, I was one of those youth that was rejected and was homeless. So I understand homelessness and hunger and even starvation. And somehow, some way, I survived. And in my heart grew this great determination to be a change maker, a way shower, to bring hope, but beyond hope, to restore others into our natural way of being, to heal from the traumas that have plagued so many of us. And I don't know about you, Scott, or anyone else in the audience, but you know, sometimes life throws curves. And the foundation, Most Perfect Love Foundation, is not new. It began 2 years ago, incorporated in the state of Washington. We are a church, but we are not a religious church. We are a church that practices in action a most perfect love. And I wanted to say to Pamela, I know the counsel of which she speaks. I remember them in between lives and having spent time with them and having received instruction. And I know that I have walked with Spirit my entire life, who kept me safe. Did you know, Scott, I was supposed to be in New York City for all the Pride events and summer solstice. And because I love someone so greatly that I felt called that I had to stay here to be close. And I'm speaking of Piper. I call her Job. And as Job was restored, Piper is being restored, and I know it. I've seen it, and I feel it. I'm vibrating, so if it appears that I'm shaking, I'm actually, the energy that's moving through me is so powerful. I don't know if Piper shared this with you, but last week in the darkest moments, I was in meditation in our meditation garden, and I was led to pick up my phone and call her. I knew she wasn't going to answer, but there was a prayer that came through me that was so powerful. Our dog, who was scheduled to be put down tomorrow, that we just really didn't want to have to do, but he was suffering and we couldn't take that anymore. He couldn't even get into the house to come up the steps. Was suddenly rejuvenated and has been reborn as though he's a puppy again, and he's 10 years old. My entire household, we've been re-energized in that prayer. Piper was re-energized. She's not all the way through all of this yet, but she is being resurrected. I know it. Spirit has shown it to me. And Piper and I met through you, Scott.
Mm.
You and Summer Joy. Yet it's though I've known her my entire life, beyond life, before life.
Mm.
And she feels the same way. So when I brought up the idea of failure that many of us have experienced, or a big, huge letdown, I went through that. We had Peace Village Farms all ready to roll out, including the funding in place. And suddenly our donor, our funder, passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly that dream was gone. Piper had a similar situation with the dreams she had.
Mm-hmm.
Yet neither of us have given up, redirected. And my own family has become, we were already Cherokee Indian, Scottish. My family has been marrying into Black families. I just got a message on my screen from Ben Bowler. Bless his heart. And all of a sudden, I felt this calling. I kept having Afrikaners reaching out to me to bring the foundation to Africa. And then we had Beyonce McCullough, who is our executive director on the ground in the Congo, which is now at war, reach out to me and volunteered. Everyone you see behind me or in these videos, we know these people.
Mm-hmm.
I was scheduled to be in New York City. It could have saved my life because I'm a member of the LGBTQ community and was scheduled to be at all the Pride events and interviewed by CBS. And so I just knew I should not go.
Mm.
And then Piper reached out to me. Her daughter had called her after the shooting at the Pride event, wanting to know how I was responding to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the way I respond to these things? I start sending love, love energy, because I've learned that's the key. So when it seemed like everything was the darkest and the disappointment came with Peace Village Farms, suddenly Africa came into the picture and we began to generate and work together. We have now 10 orphanages in Africa.
Wow.
Rwanda, the Congo, Uganda, Kenya, and we just built a school in Kenya at the end of last year. The call came in, the funding came in, and it was built in less than 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I'm scheduled to be in Africa in August, going with Patovant and Antoinette.
I was going to ask if you're collaborating with them. Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's wonderful. I want to read a couple comments, and there's a question for you. Carol Craig, who's currently in Trinidad, she's one of our regulars, and she, I know, has spent a lot of time in Africa. She says, I can relate to everything you're saying. The love of the people in Africa is life-changing, and it changed the trajectory of my life. And she's wanting to know, where in Kenya will you be?
Mombasa, Kenya.
Wow. Other comments. DR writes, amazing, so quickly that you've manifested this. And Dia Therese writes, Erica, I too am vibrating. You're sharing this very elated energy is transformative. Thank you. Namaste. Pam writes, thank you, Erica, for always keeping love at the center of your being and for your lifelong service to the world. Your life experience is amazing, and we have so much to learn from you. And Susan Bloomquist is appreciating your passing on the news about Piper. And since I brought up Carol Craig, she just put in a poster that she made about her time in Africa. So, Carol, thanks for sharing that. And I'm sure that Erica can relate. Look at all the beautiful children in your poster, and of course, all the beautiful children we saw in Erica's video at the start here. So let's take a look at a mostperfectlove.org, your new foundation, the church. Let's take a look at it. It's a very significant website. There's a lot going on in this website. And again, you can find it at mostperfectlove.org, empowering lives through unconditional love.
And transforming communities with compassion and care. Their struggle is ours to finish.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And there's a lot, everything from knowing your rights and transgender law, especially with the way the transgender people are being targeted right now. It's terrible. And I see Piper's Is Love Boutique and some of her stuff.
And the church is listed there.
Yep.
It's the Is Love Temple.
You know, I'd seen this.
Transcendent Becoming.
I'd seen your website before, showing it, and I did not know this. But I was thinking about this as I was looking at the beautiful video. 5 children under the age of 5 die every minute in Africa. It's hard to really comprehend that. It's really hard to take that in. It's amazing. Wow. 98,000 Black children and women missing in America. There's so many different things that you too are aware of, that this foundation is helping us to, just by going to the website, to learn more about. And of course, really important for people to donate. Any particular, I see you've got Compassion Games, John Summers' organization there.
I've been the international media spokesperson for the LGBT Compassion Games since 2013. For some reason, they chose me. I'd never met any of these people. I got a call from Los Angeles and asked me to take on that role for the Fearless Project. Wow. Because they saw me as a fearless human being. And I'm like, me, fearless? I'm scared of my own shadow sometimes, but I still move through that.
Well, thank you very, very much about, all that you're doing. Where else, because there's a lot, it's a very elaborate website. What else would you like for us to share or show, Erica?
Well, let's go to the founders page, A Most Perfect Love.
Okay.
And you see Piper's book on there. I wanted to make this announcement before we go any further while you're getting there.
And you said the founders page? I'm trying to find the
Most Perfect Love.
Oh, okay, here. Okay.
I am a transgender woman. We're going to correct that title tonight. I am a transcendent being. But I grew up in that experience, and I grew up with the discrimination and the hate and the bullying and the rejection and all that stuff that comes with it. So we support the Transgender Law Center. When you go to our website, you just punch it in. Before the website, you can actually see it. The Trevor Project, which is a suicide hotline for our youth to be able to call. The administration just cut the funding to them completely. So Piper and I went immediately into action and partnered with the Trevor Project, because they have a number that you can call that does not go through the Washington, D.C. hotline. So we wanted that up there for anyone considering suicide to have someone they can reach out to. And so that's on there. So we support the LGBT community, unaccompanied homeless youth. And this is a number, 5 suicides a minute.
Is that worldwide?
That's in the United States.
In the United States, 5 a minute?
5 a minute. That's all the way from the younger ages to the age of 27.
Wow. Wow.
So, and we have those numbers up there, and I know this is a very scary scene right there. But I took my own life. That's why I had that near-death experience at 16 years old. It was about becoming transcendent. And I was in the presence that I remember in between lives. They showed me that wasn't my time to come, but it was in so much love. There was no judgment or condemnation or like I had done something wrong, because there was so much compassion and love. They understood why I took my life. But then they showed me what my life would be should I choose to come back. And it was done so beautifully. I can't even put words to it. But there was an energy that permeated everything. It was palatable. It was that intense that my question was simply, what is this energy? I've never felt that on earth. And they told me what it was not. That it was free of judgment and condemnation and guilt and fear and greed and selfishness. All of those things were absent. It is the purest form of love. And that's why the foundation is called A Most Perfect Love Foundation. Because I can't find words in the human language to accurately describe it. But it permeates everything here. Everything is that energy in motion. And it's accessible to all of us. All the time. And the ability to manifest the world that we all wish we lived in. And that's the paradigm shift that we're going through. And Piper recognized it. We've spent many hours in conversation about. Piper is the new president of our board. She is the content director. She created the site. I already had a site, but it was nothing like what it is now. And it was so funny because right before we were to submit our articles of incorporation to become incorporated, I thought it was just going to be a regular 501c3. And I heard Spirit speak and said, incorporate as a church. Incorporate as a church. And that's what we did. I didn't know then, and I've studied constitutional law, how much legal protection a church has that other organizations or individuals do not have. And as soon as we did that and it was accepted, and it took some convincing to the state that we were in fact a church. These are our true, authentic spiritual practices of showing up and being love in action. And they, after questioning me several times and responding to them several times, they came back and they incorporated us. Immediately, we became a nonprofit 501c3 and were awarded all rights, privileges, and responsibilities of a 501c nonprofit. And where that became important, Scott, I want to say, is that someone messed up on our paperwork. We thought we were submitting and filing for the actual 501c3 IRS recognition. So I spent 2 years not fundraising. waiting because it's tied up in the IRS now, and we're still waiting. But it's not surprising considering the administration cut all those jobs.
Yeah.
And you can't even get anyone on the phone to speak to now.
Yeah, of course.
So we're perfectly legal and have been the whole time. And I just received confirmation of that from our lawyers. So we've been self-funding this foundation. David and I sold all of our assets, our big farm in Maine. We had a yacht and other things and stocks and all those things that we had accumulated over a lifetime with a commitment that we would use it in God's work. And you don't hear me use the name God often. Usually I say source. God, goddess, source, by whatever name a person is comfortable with to do this work. And I have absolutely no regrets. I came into the world with nothing and I'll leave with nothing. I do not own this foundation. This foundation is a church that in my will is being left in the care of Piper Dellums. I had to do that because I wanted someone that I knew I could trust that shared the same vision. And Piper shares that vision. I am in love with Piper and I have been since I met her.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm also married.
Well, Erica, I want to thank you for the wonderful, wonderful work you're doing. Again, mostperfectlove.org. I've put it into the Zoom room, and I'm going to conclude this chapter of the show by playing one of Piper's videos. Some of you might remember it. This is one of the micro shorts, because I think clearly, Erica, you are a dreamer, a beautiful dreamer. So let's take a look at this video. And it's a wonderful way to honor and think of Piper as we watch.
Awakening to the Call of the Healing Hotels by Dreamers. The call of the divine feminine. The call of oneness, of unity, of love. What does it mean to be a dreamer? Who are the dreamers? You are. We are. I am. Dreamers believe that love is love, and that everything points to and is the divine. Dreamers believe that health and wellness, freedom and grace are your birthright. Dreamers know that thoughts and beliefs are the architects of your life. Dreamers are the hope of today and the hope of tomorrow. Dreamers hold the key to the promise of a better way, a better world, a better now, a better you, a better us. Dreamers hold the key to the purpose of our journey, this magnificent incarnation, this profound experience of being. Dreamers orchestrate the aria of humanity's salvation and chart the course of action to remedy the soul's discontent. We are the dreamers. We hold the key to open the doors of destiny, the prophetic awakening from karma to dharma. As the dreamers, we know that all of creation is one heart, one tear, one dance, one love, a collective oneness that interweaves our experiences and our wisdom for the purpose of healing and unifying the family of humanity and all of the earth's inhabitants back to the truth, back to authenticity, back to love, back to source. We are the dreamers, the ebb of seasons and the flow of forever, the rhythm and rhyme of life. With her broken guitar strings and perfect pitch, with her crooked paths and crooked smiles and wayward winds, with her blinding beauty and mosaics of shattered glass, broken, perfectly and stunningly broken, open humanity. The trees of fertility, the trees of life. We are broken branches, and broken branches make perfect nests. We bend and sway as trees in storm, but when we break, our branches become unity's fingers, interlocking as the hands of Creator. Open breath, open hands, open hearts, and open arms. Writing 1,000,000 stories on the canvas of our existence. We are the Healing Hotels by Dreamer, and our story has just begun. Come dream with us. Come, carve your name in the tree of life, because you matter.
Sorry, it does end abruptly. That was beautiful.
Yes, it is. That was one of Piper's dreams, that castle right there for the dream.
Right. That's right.
For the Healing Hotels. The Healing Hotels is now being revived through the Most Perfect Love Foundation.
Well, it's going to be wonderful to watch how things continue for you. And thank you so much, Erica, for a life so well lived. And I know that there's still a lot of wonderful things you're going to be contributing to our awakening world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. Love to all.
Love to all. Wow, there's so much. The only possible thing we could do next would be have a song from Omashar. It's the only possibility. And fortunately, he's right here.
When you think that all is lost and the curtain looks to fall, perhaps it's just the song of hope that calls, and your trust in life is exposed. Around and mope, where there is love, there's always hope. Trust in your life and you will see that you reflect as me. Another day is here for you to live, and I'll walk it through with you. There is no doubt your heart is pure and true. So I came to remind you, no need to say see that you reflect as me.
Let's all give a big twinkle to Omashar.
A hearty twinkle, please. I want a hearty twinkle.
A hearty twinkle to Omashar and our dance team, led by Desirea, Eleanor Joy, Diara, Lynn, and Leaf.
And thank you, Erica, for taking us to those depths, because with your clear and open heart and all of that information, it kept it so perfectly in balance. And whilst I was crying on the inside, I was also transcending on the outside. And thank you. What a beacon you are. Thank you, sweetheart.
And what a beacon you are. And we love you, Omashar. Thank you so much for your contributions.
Thank you, love.
All right. Thank you both. The last part of our show, we will have a closing Omashar song. It's a video that I did about 6 weeks ago with Dominik, and I was actually going to show it in a previous show, and we ran out of time. But Dominik is part of the next generation synergy group of Awakening World Leaders that I helped to start through Evolutionary Leaders Circle. You're about to see, he's a beautiful, beautiful soul. And his university is really interesting, the Interstellar University. So let's learn a little bit about that with Dominik, coming to us by pre-recorded video from Germany. I'm so excited because we are now going to be with Dominik, coming to us from Germany. He travels all over Europe, and he is somebody that's part of our new generation of wisdom keepers for an awakening world. And he is now running a very wonderful organization, and we're going to learn all about it. So welcome, Dominik, back to the awakening world. Good to have you back on again.
Thank you, Scott. It's an honor to be here.
Let's get right in. Tell us a little bit about the organization that you're in, and kind of what pulled you in, what has appealed to you about this, and then what our audience needs to know about what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the organization that I'm leading together with Susan Manwich and Juan Carlos Kaitin is called the Interstellar Community Foundation, which has the purpose to create the Interstellar University, which will be a cutting-edge university that has the purpose to raise human consciousness for extraterrestrial contact. So it's a very specific, very cutting-edge topic. And what resonated for me, this whole topic resonated especially 2.5 years ago when I joined the organization, because I found it through the Evolutionary Leaders Network. Yeah, I found Jean and John Person, who are the founders, together with the Apollo astronaut Edgar Mitchell, who is actually the 6th man on the moon. They created this organization a while back, and also created a wonderful community of different contactees sharing their experiences with extraterrestrials, or star nations, as the natives would call it. And because I'm in a, basically education with a Native American chief for over 4 years right now. And we're also learning about the direct contact with the star nations. So I got very interested in this mission and actually then joined the organization. And now there's a very beautiful process of shifting generations that is happening right now, where Jean and John are basically moving into their roles of elders. And now the three of us now stepping forward as a new generation in leading this, in bringing this into reality. Because before, the times were not right for something like this to materialize. And now there is a certain window opening where people actually want to know more. And this is time for a new generation to stop making it happen, to start making it happen, basically. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've been in this field for a long time. In fact, I interviewed Edgar Mitchell when he was still alive, way back in 1996 or 97, when I was producing a show called The Paranormal Borderline. And we had him on a couple of times. And he was just beginning to speak about his beliefs and his interests. And then, of course, he went on to form the Institute of Noetic Sciences. Point being that for the 40 years that I've been in this field, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to really go public. And now it is going public. And recently we've had Danny Sheehan on the show. We've had Jim Garrison from Ubiquity University on the show. And of course, it's really happening on a mainstream level. So how exciting that you and your colleagues are going to be running this Interstellar University. Now, what does that mean? What is the Interstellar University going to provide, and how can people participate?
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Scott. And you're absolutely right. This all becomes public, but actually this is not new. The elders in the native and indigenous traditions know about this for a very, very long time, for millennia, actually. And so this very ancient knowledge is coming back up now, and we're creating, bringing this up in a new form for this coming time, for the new Earth. So what this university will be about, it will be a real university made out of an educational section and a research section. So actually within the educational space, it's pretty much based around community and about experience. And it's very personalized knowledge. So yeah, we on the one hand will have a membership for the community, but on the other side, we will have a long program, a 6-month program that will be completely individualized, and this will make it completely different from any other institution where you have a fixed curriculum. What we strive to do is actually really cater the content and the curriculum and everything that will be shared specifically to the needs of the individual student. So we will test them in the beginning on their human design, on their personality, on their likings. And then for them personally, a specific learning path will be created. And, where they will have daily educational content and challenges, for example, and at the same time, they will also join their peer group. It will be a community that they're moving forward, where they would have their weekly meetings, but also they will be matched with their mentor based upon everything that we know about the individual. So there will be a mentor match and also one-on-one sessions with the mentor. And it all goes into the direction of very personalized knowledge. So this is what we're doing. And in the field of research, we're actually aligning with a new movement that is coming up that is called decentralized science, or DeSci in short. And this is much like an alternative to the traditional academic system, which I'm very familiar with from my past work in universities and also with co-leading an institute in Germany. But there are some real problems regarding the current educational system, especially when it comes to topics like these. So this new system is really much built upon freedom, using blockchain technology, but also using AI technology to help with deeper research into these topics. Yes, this is basically the ground structure of what we're doing. This is entirely rooted in ancient and indigenous knowledge, and it's consciousness first. So we're all for our teachers. We have no interest in replacing our teachers or researchers. We have some very brilliant contactees, some very evolved souls that we want to provide a platform so they can share their knowledge and their gifts. Oh, you're on mute, Scott.
Tell us a little bit more about some of the indigenous wisdom that you're aware of, or that's come through some of the people you're working with, in terms of what the indigenous elders and communities have been aware of as it relates to our interstellar family, our galactic family.
Yes, so basically, a lot of the indigenous cultures and tribes around the world, Native American tribes, but also in Australia and Southern America, also in Europe and in other parts of Asia, are pretty much carrying this wisdom of unity consciousness in many ways. They know that we are all coming from the same conscious mind and that we share the same principles of our consciousness. And this is basically the foundation of why we can have contact with other beings who are not from this earth, who live not just outside of this earth, but also in different densities or dimensions. So there's, there can be a difference between a physical extraterrestrial or a celestial being. And these shamans oftentimes, but also wisdom keepers from other traditions in Buddhism, for example, or the Taoists, they know how to communicate and also collaborate with these beings, as do many of our contactees. So many of the starseeds actually, who are not from here but are here, basically for the journey at the time being, the ground crew, as I call them, many of them are aware of this from their birth, and some of them are, remembering all of this, but still need to be guided. So our aim is really to create an educational space and a community space for them, to really learn all of this, relearn it, and also remember what they're here for, and give them the tools to actually actualize their purpose here in this very incredible time right now.
It is. It's an extraordinary time. Absolutely extraordinary. Okay. How do we contact you? How do we get involved? And what's your website? And give us a little tour.
Okay, I can throw it up if you want.
Please.
So, yeah, we just launched our new website. You can find it at interstellar-foundation.org. And you can see our trailer here for more information of what we're doing. This is basically the website from the Interstellar Community Foundation. We're now in the process of raising our seed money for the first stage of actualizing the university, building up the platform. And you can also see our funding proposal down here. And also, our current team with Susan and Juan Carlos, and also our elders, as well as our, future educational offerings, and our members and advisors. And if you, have any further questions, feel free to get in touch with me via the contact form down here. This will directly land in my inbox. Yes. And if, there is someone willing to help with the first seeding of this, we would really much appreciate it as well.
I cannot think of anything that'd be a greater value than that. And I've had the good fortune, of course, to work with Dominik, and I know that he brings, as you can tell, a lot of enthusiasm, but also a lot of wisdom for his years. How has this journey of getting involved with this organization, how's it changing you? How's this helping your personal evolution?
Oh, wow. On many, many different levels, particularly on the very human level. It's really growing into this leadership role together with my co-partners in this. But I'm definitely the youngest. I'm 27 years old. So there's a steep learning curve for me as well. But also I still bring some knowledge when it comes to design and creating online learning platforms, which is my specialty from my past education. So I can definitely carry over some of the older knowledge that I bring when it comes to the hands-on part. But especially, the work in the team, really bringing people together and weaving their gifts together so that we can create something bigger than the sum of the parts. That is very, very special. I'm learning a lot about this, and also how to navigate with partners and bringing in new partnerships. So this is beautiful work, and I'm very excited about this. And I also want to honor Jean and John, who are in this for a very long time and bring an extensive network. And they really guide me in this whole process. So I feel very supported, and I really do appreciate this, because everything that we want to create here should come from the frequency of the new earth, and that's the frequency of love, and that's where everything we create is coming from.
Beautiful. Yeah, Jean and Sean are precious, and it's exciting for us elders to be turning it over to dynamic young people such as yourself. Well, of course, already on our show by the time I'm playing this recording, we've heard from a couple of your colleagues, Maggie and Mariana. And so it's kind of a fun show because we're seeing some of the older elders like Chief. That's not accurate because we didn't show it on that show. But I was just in what I said earlier to him. It is cool to see elders like Erica, myself, still doing our work, still keeping busy. But also it's beautiful to see the next generation coming around. So thank you everybody for watching. Some wonderful comments have come in, and yes, Elena Joy, Dominik does absolutely glow. And I will put the link into the university in the chat while Omashar is blessing us with his music. Let me take a quick look and see what else people have said. Oh, I see there's some really lovely conversations with Erica. I'm really happy to see that. That's nice. I was also, I'm seeing you talk about the Prophets Conference. I actually led panels at some of the Prophets Conferences, and I filmed them back in, it was sometime in the 90s, mid 90s. I did the one in Merida. It was a really big one. Anyway, we've all been kind of around, haven't we? We've all been around for quite a while. All right. Well, straight from the Prophets Conference 20 years ago, here is Omashar.
No comment. What more can I be than what I am? Though it's taken some time to clear these clouds from my eyes. So open your heart and dance along. I'm thinking it's time to stop that same old song. I've come alive, so hear me now. I am in love with the world around me, and I will hold her in my arms and lift her with my dreaming. Ba-da-da-da. And lift her with my dreaming. Ba-da-da-da. And lift her with my dreaming. Ba-da-da-da. So don't try to hold me to what I was. I've traveled through time to see this day arise. The love that I am is here for you. So open the door and let the sun shine in. I've come alive, so hear me now. I am in love with the world around me, and I will hold her in my arms and lift her with my dreaming. Ba-da-da-da. I lift her with my dreaming. Da-da-da-da. I lift her with my dreaming. So open your heart and dance along. We're thinking in time to stop that same old song. We've come alive, so hear us now. We are in love with the world around us, and we will hold her in our arms and lift her with our dreaming. Lift her with our dreaming. And lift her with our dreaming. What more can I be than what I am?
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you for that wonderful reminder for all of us to just kind of, there's certainly been a theme to tonight's show, and your music always kind of, it's amazing how you tune in and play music that always kind of captures the theme and what's taking place. So thank you for that. And thank you, Desirea, and everybody else for dancing and moving and grooving. Thank you to our presenters. God bless you, Erica. You and Piper, we will be supporting you and holding the vision for you, and definitely having you on the show periodically, letting us know about your progress. And thanks, of course, to Pamela and Suzanne to get us started. I look forward to hopefully seeing all of you this Saturday night. We've got a big show planned on Saturday night. It's all members of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, who are authors. Some of whom you know, On a Day of Judith, and you probably know John Perkins and Tammy Scarlett. You might not know Jeff Vanderkloot. He's a great guy. My co-host will be the wonderful Reverend Deborah Moldow, and Tatiana and Omashar will be providing us with music. So it's gonna be a wonderful show. So please make sure you join us. Also, this is the start of our new season. So for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, this is a really good time to join the Global Peace Tribe. And it's easy. You just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and learn all about what we're doing. So our upcoming shows, there's all the posters and such. And then click register for the new season. Whoops. Once I move it, it always does this thing. But here we go. Register for the new season. Come on, not watch on YouTube. You really can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Well, there we go. It'll take you to the registration page, and it takes about 2 minutes max to sign up. You can come in as low as $22. And you're going to get the Zoom room links to all of our shows, Wednesdays and Saturdays always, and on occasion, special events for all of the summer, all the way through September 30th. So, of course, all of you in the Zoom room are beloved friends who have already subscribed. Thank you so much. And let's pass on the word. Let people know about what we're doing. Let's grow our audience. And I love each and every one of you. I'm grateful for you. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you on Saturday night. I'm going to go to gallery review one last time. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on Saturday.